Panther Den.
Wow, the internet is a very strange, very weird, and sometimes confusing place, and that's the way I like it. Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. This is Luke Radowski of WeAreChange.org. A lot of important issues to get into today, especially with the disputed election. The fact checkers, you gotta love those fact checkers out there. And of course, the extreme cases of hypocrisy that utterly epitomize our modern day society. Lots of that bullcrap to call out, but today, still, November 13th, Friday the 13th, we still don't have a clear and decisive victor of the presidential election, and we have more troubles regarding that news as we're just finding out right now that the Pennsylvania law firm that was hired by Donald Trump just quit. This is the same law firm, by the way, that was targeted by Project Lincoln for targeted harassment campaign. It is important to note here that their targeted harassment campaign that doxed the lawyers in this particular case, that tweet has been taken down, but they are still allowed to have a platform on Twitter. Now, whether this law firm quit because of developments surrounding this case, or whether it was this targeted harassment campaign, we still don't know the full details of. There's officially no reason given yet, but this definitely raises a lot of concerns for a lot of Trump fans and their hope for a legal victory in Pennsylvania. Meanwhile, in Michigan, we literally have the Attorney General there who is saying that Trump's voter fraud lawsuit, Trump's court battle regarding the election this year is, quote, racist. Yes, because if you don't like something, you just label it racist. That's definitely the rational thinking thing to do, right? Yep, just more absolute insanity and a degradation of our society that is moving towards idiocracy. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. And again, I think we definitely need to investigate what happened this election, since, of course, many establishment figures and even anti-establishment figures like Edward Snowden have been warning us that there is a potential for our voting system to be manipulated, and it is, quote, unsecure. And if that's the case, I don't think a little bit of accountability is going to hurt anyone. I don't think a little bit of transparency, investigating and looking into to make sure everything adds up is going to hurt anyone or is some kind of act of racism. Sorry, a lot of people lost me there. There's a lot of people asking questions, and there's a lot of sworn affidavits of individuals coming forward alleging that there was some kind of fraud involved in this election. You try to share this type of information on the big tech media monopoly networks, and many times you can't. There's even reports we're getting of individuals saying that their text messages with their friends and family members are also, quote, being censored. Now again, this has not been verified yet, but with the wave of censorship that has been selectively enforced here, we have to entertain all realms of possibility, and it wouldn't be surprising if the cell phone networks now decided that they have carte blanche power over your text messages, just like the big tech monopolies have power over any messages you send over their platforms. So yeah, because of that and a million gajillion other reasons, you should definitely check us out on Telegram. We definitely have a lot of people following us there. We have a lot of great conversations, and it definitely seems as a really positive alternative way of communicating with you, unlike the other big tech giants out there. Also, check out the Brave browser. Huge win-win for everyone. I am so happy this exists. This costs you nothing. You earn money. You earn cryptocurrencies. You gain value just for using this. And if you use our specific referral link, you use this platform for over 30 days, which I am sure you will. It's free. It costs you nothing. It's just like an online browser like Mozilla and Chrome. In my opinion, it is way better than all of those. This saves you a boatload of time, a boatload of bandwidth. I absolutely love using this browser, and it has been a huge factor to keeping us alive as an independent media organization. You even get faster feeds with some devices. I don't know what's wrong with you. If you haven't been using the Brave browser, get your browsing tokens, tip if you want. But what's wrong with you? Get on Brave right now. Seriously, it's my favorite browser. I think it will be yours too. Check it out in the description down below. Now, as people are talking less and less about this election, they're talking about more and more the Conholio sickness, which surprisingly, allegedly, according to the mainstream media, is coming back in record numbers. If it's not one fear-mongering agenda, it's another one. But as we have these new headlines come in, just watch this video right now that is literally from the Wuhan Cultural and Tourism Bureau, as they just released this video trying to get as many people as they can to visit the epicenter of the Conholio sickness, Wuhan. And again, when you look at what happened in Wuhan, it's unexplainable to many individuals who can't explain what's going on here. How can Wuhan be completely virus-free when their people aren't even wearing masks? There's no lockdown. They're surrounded by some of the most poorest, one of the most crowded, one of the most populated, polluted places in the world, and yet they're thriving. While people here in the United States in some places are no longer allowed to have Thanksgiving. And that's utterly ridiculous and insane. It's also important to note here that China is also officially today congratulating Joe Biden on, quote, being elected the U.S. president. Joe Biden, of course, had previous business dealings with his family members in China. He has been very soft on them, defensive in other instances, and surely the Chinese Communist state is very happy with his victory. And, you know, it's also a place with ethnic cleansing of Muslim minorities, which seemingly no one wants to talk about, that they do in camps. They also have a lot of organ harvesting and just the total annihilation of any dissent in the most cruel and unusual ways. But here, the U.S. mainstream media, largely in part, ignores it. Meanwhile, CNN is obsessing still to this day, literally, no joke. CNN had a whole segment on how Donald Trump is like the Germans in World War II.
That led to genocide against a whole identity, and in that tower of burning books, it led to an attack on fact, knowledge, history, and truth. After 4 years of a modern-day assault on those same values by Donald Trump, the Biden pledges a return to norm.
I mean, are you... I mean, the level of sensationalism, the level of hyperbolic nonsense, foaming at the mouth is just utterly ridiculous. It's jaw-dropping and stunning to see, just like this next video, where we have literally the mayor of Chicago scream how democracy is back in a large gathering of people without wearing a face mask. This after a few moments after this, declaring that people can't have Thanksgiving. Yes, the Chicago mayor was just telling you how democracy was restored, and then later on, because people didn't social distance and people didn't wear masks, like she was just doing, because of that, people have to stay home for the next 30 days. They have to cancel Thanksgiving plans, and they have to follow up on her made-up, non-scientific orders of allowing 10 people to gather because of allegedly the Conholio sickness, which she says some people aren't taking seriously. And it looks like Democrats and the mainstream media have this amazing power, just like China does, that could automatically turn off the Conholio sickness whenever they want to celebrate or use an event that benefits their narrative that they are trying to push. Again, very magical to see this. I would love to understand who Let's click on that button right there, because that explanation makes a lot more sense than the quote science that these crazy, unhinged, egotistical, narcissistic, fat cat, bureaucratic tyrants think that they're spewing. Yes, this is another kind of cringe-worthy video of that same mayor who wasn't social distancing, wasn't wearing a mask, who was screaming into the crowd about saving democracy. Literally, she made a video about bringing back the science.
Thank God. Science is back, baby. And the earth is round, not flat. Washington.
And they wonder, why do people think the earth is flat? Why? Why? With such illogical, crazy, ignorant, low IQ fallacies presented by the establishment, obviously you're going to have an equal response to that. And my goodness, can you get more sad and pathetic than the current state of hypocritical politics that is trying to tell you how to live your life? And if the irony wasn't even thick enough for you, the mayor literally went on primetime television and defended her actions.
One of the reasons people feel frustrated or skeptical is they're getting a lot of mixed messages. What do you say to those who are criticizing you, where less than a week ago you went out and stood before a massive crowd who was celebrating Joe Biden's victory, and now you're saying your city has to shut down? How do you have one and not the other?
Well, look, I think that we've been saying all along, everybody has to take care. Everybody has to take precaution. I will tell you, in that big crowd a week ago.
Except her. Except her. Yes.
When we actually do need to have a relief and come together. And I felt like that was one of those times. That crowd was gathered whether I was there or not. But this has been a super hard year.
You know, we just gotta have a good time sometimes, you know? Oh, we just gotta have some good times, you know? Let off some stress. I mean, are you freaking kidding me? And this, again, shouldn't be an issue for anyone. I don't want to Karen on anyone, but this is the same government official that is sending out the hounds, sending out bureaucratic police officers that shut down and destroy people's lives for far less than what she did. And for her to be violating the, quote, rules that she put in place that is ruining people's lives is absolutely disgusting. Again, there's people allegedly getting sick from these, quote, protests, even when they allegedly wore a mask, according to this account. But protests are allowed. They're encouraged. They're great if they serve the establishment, of course, if they protest the right things. They can't protest the wrong things, like actual government policies that actually affect individuals. And again, this is going to get far worse under a Biden administration, but already many Democratic cities, just like you saw in Chicago and now in New York City, they, of course, look like they will be locking down just like they did before, and maybe even in more serious ways. And for these individuals telling me I can't see my family members during my holiday, I mean, how can you ever take them seriously in the first place? And there's a lot of questions arising to what's actually going on here, since there's a large number of prominent individuals, specifically the NFL, specifically certain governors, and now Elon Musk, that are coming out and are saying that they are taking multiple tests and they're getting mixed reviews. Elon Musk just tweeted how he had flu-like symptoms. He was tested 4 times. 2 tests came back negative. 2 tests came back positive for him on the same machine, the same test, the same nurse. And this is the testing. This is the standard that the United States, that many jurisdictions are using to say we have record number of cases and now need to lock down. Again, this is important here, since of course we're being told in the media that there's record new numbers of cases. Fatalities, by the way, have gone down dramatically. Tests still haven't been figured out, but we have government officials telling us what to do when they don't follow their own rules that destroy our lives. And then we have individuals like Dr. Fauci saying, do what you're told. Based off what logic? Based off what science? Since, of course, many people can't make heads or tails of what's actually going on here. And these are legitimate, serious questions that do deserve to be answered. But While we still don't know what's going on, the billionaire predator class is literally benefiting from this entire situation. Small and middle class businesses are being destroyed. Billionaires are becoming richer than ever. Walmart, Amazon, and many other multinational giants are becoming wealthier than anyone has ever imagined. And then we have individuals from the Gates Foundation, the IMF, the UN, the World Bank, the World Economic Forum, and many corporations involved that are literally calling for a great global reset. One conveniently filled with less freedom, less ownership, less sovereignty, and more power to the institutions that already abuse it the most. Look at Bloomberg Businessweek that are talking about a new utopia where you don't own anything, you don't have a car, everything's going to be regulated by health passes, as of course capitalism will be a thing of the past, as of course everyone is going to be in poverty, utterly dependent on the very few who are allowed to succeed today that are friends with the politicians that allow their businesses to be open. Even according to the UN World Food Program, we are in a world of trouble, especially with, quote, more lockdowns. There's many individuals, Dr. Fauci, there's many top scientists that are saying that lockdowns don't work and they hurt people. Fauci is literally saying that right now. But yet we're still moving forward with this draconian global reset dystopian narrative and agenda of politicians using this crisis to their own personal benefit every which way possible. Are you freaking kidding me? Sorry, but this is just absolutely crazy. It's absolutely insane. If you think so as well, share this video with your friends, your family members, your co-workers, your neighbors, whoever you know surrounding near you, that you could get the word out, because it's more important than ever to share some of these important messages. Even if it's not this video, even if it's an article, even if it's a meme from one of these videos, screenshot it, look it up, and then start engaging with people and start having conversations about the seriousness of this. Since, of course, one of the most important assets you could have in your life is your family and the people closest around you. Prepare accordingly. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you, and this is why. Love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on wearechange.org.